ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So, Sonia, probably we can share some of those things even from Bhagavad Gita, like which probably we want to always discuss. You can share that also.
Okay, Bhaskar.
Yeah, actually, Kabir does this thing which I wanted others also to be there. Okay, Ashish is here. If one, hi, Ashish.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
So,
Hari Om, Ashish ji.
maybe we can share Kabir Das ji's also. In any case, we'll be putting in the recording, right?
And also, Bhaskar ji, Kabir Das ji, like so many things are there. If we pick up any one of his composition, then I mean, for me, his every word is Vedanta only. If we actually, so if we pick up any one composition at a time, we'll find that we are discussing the same thing. Only if that is in a local dialect.
Agree.
If somebody wants, if somebody is really inclined, they will get it. And probably he was trying to explain the same thing, but in local dialect.
Correct. So I think that perspective will be very helpful actually,
Yes.
That one actually. You can share, you can go ahead.
Like Bhaskar is the smallest one, like Kabir Das is having dohas. Dohas are nothing, like they are very small couplets kind of things. So, and one of them, the one is, and some are longer ones, some are full songs also. And the wonderful part is, I was thinking of that in YouTube there are, some people have translated even that local dialect because we people are not able to understand even the local dialect.
Oh, okay.
So some people have, translated that local dialect in Hindi, in the day-to-day Hindi.
Okay.
So that, and the singing goes. So we are able to understand the entire song, the entire couplet. So I will, with your permission, I'll share some of those links also in the group because and in them I want to share the first one, and I really like that, in which he says, एक राम दशरथ का बेटा, एक राम घट घट में बैठा, एक राम तीजे राम का सकल पसारा. तो so एक and चौथे राम को कोई न जाने, and the last one is कि अंतिम राम को जो जान पाता है कि वो खुद को पहचाने. That is in Hindi if I translate that. So like in 5 lines he's saying everything that एक राम दशरथ का बेटा, जिनको हम मूर्त रूप में पूजते हैं, या तुलसीदास जी ने जिनकी आराधना करी और इनके बारे वर्णन किया. इट वॉज मोर ऑफ इवन द सोसाइटल थिंग्स, ये सोसाइटी कैसी चलनी चाहिए, पुरुषोत्तम कैसे है, क्या पुरुष के अंदर क्या क्या क्वालिटीज कह सकते हैं, गुण होने चाहिए. तो उन्होंने एक राम दशरथ का बेटा, दूसरा राम जो घट घट बैठा. वी नो ब्राह्मण, इफ आई से ब्राह्मण इज एन, हम कहते हैं ईश्वर सब में है सिर्फ, तो दैट इज व्हाट ही इज सिंपली सेइंग. तीजे राम का सकल पसारा, व्हिच इज लाइक whether it is sat asat ksharam aksharam, he's trying to say everything is his only. So it is again, we are going to the third level, that okay, everything here we have included everything, sat asat ksharam aksharam, सब ये सब उसका ही है, ब्रह्मांड सब उसका पसारा है. और जो उन्होंने चौथे राम में उन्होंने बोला कि उसको कोई उसको जान नहीं पाता, और जो 5वें राम को जान लेता है, मतलब इन सब से जो वो अभव जाता है, वो खुद को जान जाता है. सो खुद को जानना लास्ट लाइन में, लाइक इट इज व्हाट, हम भी तो खुद को ही जान रहे हैं. अद्वैत में, शंकराचार्य, उपनिषद में, सब में इट इज ऑल अबाउट सेल्फ, कि हम सेल्फ को जान गए.
करेक्ट.
सो एंड दैट्स हाउ इवन द कंफ्यूजन्स, कि जो क्वेश्चन गीता में अर्जुन बार बार पूछते हैं कि मुझे भक्ति ये मैं कर्म से जा सकता हूँ कि संन्यास से जा सकता हूँ। भगवान उसमें उनको कहीं पे भी सीधा वो नहीं बोल रहे, वो बोलते हैं कि कर्म और संन्यास से जा सकता हूँ. सो कृष्णा सेज दैट यू डू कर्म because he's at that particular stage in life. But eventually Krishna in everything is saying no, that I am the only one. Submit to me. Submit to me means submit to me. Who will submit? That who will not be there. So same in that. So the last line Kabirdas ji is saying that जिसने उसको जान लिया उसने स्वयं को जान लिया. So I mean that's how I feel that if these 5 lines हम उनको ही एक एक लाइन भी समझे तो लगता है कि उन्होंने सारा सार इन 5 लाइनों में दे दिया. And ऐसे ही उनका एक और सॉन्ग था जिसमें I'll share that link हिंदी कि एक नगरी है जिसके 9 द्वार है और उस नगरी में जो रहता है. तो he's describing नगरी is this जिसको हम शरीर कहते हैं, 9 द्वारों वाला शरीर जो नगरी है. और इसमें जो रहता है वो जो जीव है वो कैसे सोचता है, क्या करता है, फिर कैसे वो अकेला ही उड़ जाता है, उसका आना जाना सब अकेला है और वो कैसे इसमें पड़ा रहता है इन सब चीजों पे जो अल्टीमेटली उसको करना है उसमें नहीं है वो. तो जैसे हम पढ़े हैं कि अच्छा it's a never ending pursuit of 2-3 things only. पैसा, reputation, so called reputation or so called पैसा या so called luxury whatever, and then eventually everything just वो खत्म हो जाता है, वो नगरी से निकल जाता है जीव 9 द्वारों वाली नगरी से. So that's how. And every statement, every song is like Vedanta only. Krishna also has described that there are 9 dwars and all those things so beautifully. That's how I feel.
Super, nice. Last time Shraddha was mentioning that she has done some research on Kabir Das ji's dohas.
She mentioned that he wrote a paper.
She wrote a paper, right? Yeah, that I thought something kind of a research only she might have done. I thought it will be interesting to discuss those with her also. I'll speak with her today maybe to understand what is that, and if that can be shared, and it will be helpful to everyone here from Advaita perspective. Thanks, Sonia, for sharing. Ambika, you want to share something either on sadhana or vichara, anything that you would like to share?
Sir, I don't know right now, but I will take in the next session. I will. But sir, the problem with me is of speech problem.
Okay.
So I don't feel convenient in speaking anything.
But it's better. It's coming out well actually. So if you ask me, probably you can use this as a nice forum to test your speaking skills, whether it's coming back and whether it has already come back. You are speaking very well.
Sir, like Sonia said about Kabir Das ji, sir, there is one scholar in Hindi. His name is Hajari Prasad Dwivedi.
Okay.
Hajari Prasad Dwivedi, he is done, is a person of around 1940 or 1950.
Okay.
He has done his PhD or like that in literature of Kabir Das ji.
Oh, I see.
Yes, sir. So if we study his books of Hajari Prasad Dwivedi, then we'll come to know a lot about Kabir Das ji.
Okay.
Like he has said that Kabir Das ji, what he has done, he was like a normal man. He was not much literate, but he has used the language as a dictator, as a person, whatever word he loves, he likes, he used that in his language. And so I'm forgetting other things. Right now I do not remember, sir.
That's okay, no issue. That's okay. No problem. Ashish, you want to say something? Anything you want to share?
Like I have recently started reading Bhagavad Gita. So I my mother used to read earlier, and then I used to listen. But now when I again started reading, like I can connect Bhagavad Gita sloka with Vedanta also. Like I will tell you one sloka. The meaning of the sloka I have still not by hearted of the sloka, but in that Krishna Bhagwan is giving update to Arjun that okay, the person who is beyond happiness and sadness, and who do the nitkam karma and do the bhakti and come to me, I will always come to save him. It means what he is asking us to be the tatastha. Tatastha means irrespective of the situation, not to become happy, not to become sad, not to become anger. So what we have learned till now, the same thing. And then this time when I'm reading, I can connect the dots. Okay, this is what we discussed in the class. That okay, all this is an anitya karma. What is anitya karma, and then what is I can connect. So this is what my experience right now, sir, with Bhagavad Gita. So this is what I wanted to share. But
nice. Thanks for sharing. Hari Om Bhavya.
Hari Om, sir.
So Bhavya has also joined at the right time. Bhavya, as usual, people have been sharing, their own recent learnings, and also Sonia shared just now about some of Kabir Das ji's lines which talk about oneness only. Even you are also studying Bhagavad Gita and you keep contemplating a lot. You can also share something from your side.
Okay. So actually in Bhagavad Gita recently I think I will shloka number 30 to 40 के बीच में they said women regarding women he has written some women should be proper if they go out to work. Women can have the possibility of having the extramarital faster, and then it will spoil the society. So I was literally surprised, how can you write like this? Then I wanted to really ask why it is written like this. Probably at that time it was holding good. I didn't understand that. Okay, that part I wanted to ask. Otherwise, as a learning, if you ask me, recently whatever all this during our sessions and all whatever I'm learning, whenever the situation is coming, it is so appropriately I'm able to adopt it in the daily life. I mean exact situations I can tell you later, I can collect this thing, but it is so helping me that initially when the situations used to come, I didn't know how to behave for this, but now it is I have been taught, I know what to do next. So that is what I can tell you, the road is so smooth. Good. Every time I get so surprised, so many times I have said you also, sir, I'm so surprised that this is how it is. So a major portion is the information, major thing, recent one is information we have, but adopting that and walking the talk, they'll say, that is really difficult, but I'm current situation, I'm working on that only. Irrespective of anything, I want to do what I'm speaking. That's it.
Understand. Good.
Okay, sir. So regarding that Bhagavad Gita, what I told you, Shloka, I would really request the lights on that.
So what is the specific doubt in that actually?
No, why he has written like that regarding women?
That what? They should be...
1 second, actually. Women has the possibility of getting spoiled faster.
Getting swayed, is it? Okay, see, I think it depends, which book you are reading. who's,
That's what ISKCON only I'm reading.
It depends, from what perspective that person has said. So it's more contextual, you can say.
Okay.
In terms of mind, I think whether it is whether it is man's mind or women's mind or even in between's mind finally remains the same. Actually, it doesn't differ too much. Mind has its problems, and maybe biologically the problems may be different sets of problems, because the way what you can say.
Shloka number 40, sir.
I don't know whether there's any specific reference to that in the shloka itself. It must be probably more when they are explaining, they might have explained. Even I can look at that. Which chapter?
Sir, actually,
which chapter is this?
Sir, you understand Kannada, right?
Of course.
Shall I read that? ಹೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ, ಕುಟುಂಬದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧರ್ಮವು ಪ್ರಧಾನವಾದಾಗ ಕುಲಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರು ನೀತಿಭ್ರಷ್ಟರಾಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರು ಪತಿತರಾದಾಗ ಅನಿಷ್ಟ ಸಂತಾನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬದುಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ 2 minutes ಐ ವಿಲ್ ರೀಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬದುಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಂತಿ, ಶ್ರೇಯಸ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸಲು ಮಾನವ ಕುಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯವಾದ ಮೂಲಾಧಾರವೆಂದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಜನತೆ. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮುದಾಯದ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಗಾಗಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಜನರೇ ಉಳಿಯುವಂತೆ ವರ್ಣಾಶ್ರಮ ಧರ್ಮದ ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸಲಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರ ಪಾತಿವ್ರತೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯ ಆಧಾರ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ದಾರಿ ತಪ್ಪಬಹುದು, ಹಾಗೆ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರು ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟರಾಗಬಹುದು. ಆದುದರಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೂ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರಿಗೂ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಹಿರಿಯರಿಂದ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ. ಹಲವಾರು ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕ ವಿಧಿಗಳನ್ನು ಮಗ್ನರಾದ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರು ದಾರಿ ತಪ್ಪಿ ವ್ಯಭಿಚಾರಕ್ಕಿಳಿಯುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಚಾಣಕ್ಯ ಪಂಡಿತನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಯರು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಜಾಣರಲ್ಲವಾಗಿ ಅವರು ನಂಬಿಕೆಗೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯರಲ್ಲ. ಆದುದರಿಂದ ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕ ವಿಧಿಗಳ ಹಲವಾರು ಕೌಟುಂಬಿಕ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಸದಾ ಮಗ್ನರಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಹೀಗೆ ಅವರ ಪಾತಿವ್ರತ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಭಕ್ತಿಯು ವರ್ಣಾಶ್ರಮ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಲು ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾದ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಜನ್ಮ ನೀಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಇಂತಹ ವರ್ಣಾಶ್ರಮ ಧರ್ಮವು ವಿಫಲವಾದಾಗ ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಪುರುಷರೊಂದಿಗೆ ಬೆರೆಯಲು ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯವು ದೊರೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ ವ್ಯಭಿಚಾರವೂ ಆಗಿ ಅನಪೇಕ್ಷಿತ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಾಗುವ ಅಪಾಯ ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಹೊಣೆಗೇಡಿ ಪುರುಷರು ಕೂಡ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಭಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಚೋದಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಅನಪೇಕ್ಷಿತ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮಾನವ ಕುಲವನ್ನು ತುಂಬಿ ಯುದ್ಧ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಷಾಮಗಳು ಅಪಾಯವು ತಲೆ ಹೊರುತ್ತದೆ. It's done. So you got it right.
Okay, so if you ask me, I have to really read that lines. I don't know whether there is anything specific like this in Bhagavad Gita. You have to just let me know which chapter and which verse is this.
Okay, sir.
So I can go through that, and maybe I can give the right perspective.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
You text later which one, which line and which chapter and which verse. See, many times, I've seen that contextually, it all depends whether people have picked up the context properly and it is coming through the right sampradaya. So if there is one de-link and if there is a different interpretation, maybe inadvertently also given, then post that period, then everyone else who picks up that as the source will keep propitiating that, and it can be deviated even further also from there. So always some interpretation which is not in line with the main purport has to be always given up actually. So that's how even Mimamsa works. But what you are saying is not of that complex level actually. This can be very easily understood where that person is coming from. So that can be found. So
one thing I understood what they have said is like if girls can also, women can also get diverted. See, one is I understand that why women should be proper, because the generation what it has to come, it has to be right. Okay, so if women are not right, then obviously the generation agewala generation is going to be spoiled. That part I can agree. But how like written that women also get swayed, like children, that part I didn't understand.
Yeah. So when you say even right at the beginning I didn't get the context proper, now I am getting the context proper. So when we say women also can get what I can say, get into the wrong one. So sometimes it may mean that they are also eligible to get into the wrong thing. So that what maybe the context, that can be the meaning which people can make out. Basically, what he is saying is that women are not an exception. So finally, the problem is the same for everyone, whether it is man or woman or any gender for that matter. Problem remains the same. It can only be a little bit different from maybe a little bit of what you can say changes or psychological issues that may come in fact because of biology itself, like because people have different sets of hormones, and you will see that people lose hormones also at different ages. So that way the timing of problem and the way the problem comes can be different, but finally problem remains problem for everyone actually. And problem for one is problem for everyone actually. That also works actually.
Correct, sir.
So in a way, if the crux of that line is that even women, women can have problems, which means they are also vulnerable. Everyone is vulnerable from mind perspective, and this is common actually. This is just common, and that's where I think pain as such, the mental pain or physical pain, finally pain, when we go to pain, there is oneness there actually. Just like we say matter is energy, when we say pain, everyone understands pain as pain actually. Of course pleasure also is pleasure, but pain definitely no one wants, right? That's very clear actually. Pain to nahi chahiye, bilkul nivritti marga. So there oneness is very well established, right, everywhere. And then again, okay, if someone says that by taking an injection of some drug they are able to get pleasure, so basically that pain they are able to put up because they are going to get some pleasure later, so they don't find pain because of that actually. Otherwise, if not for the purpose of drugs, if for the purpose of time pass, if someone has to be injected, he will never accept it actually. So okay, if someone is having fever or something like that, if they have to come out of some ailment, then that person may surrender to the therapy. Otherwise the surrender will not happen actually. So here also a person who has, I think, understood the limitations of samsara surrenders to the therapy. So ideally when Krishna is saying, actually he's probably telling a person who has already come in line, fallen in line actually, fallen in line, to surrender some little bit more, because this jiva, even after surrendering, will keep irritating Krishna also. So Krishna says, boss, pura surrender karo. So that's where I think when we have already gone to Bhagavad Gita, we have already surrendered. Okay, we have tried everything else and we are going to Bhagavad Gita. And after going to Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is saying surrender, that's a residual surrender. That is not the initial surrender. So that way, that way I can relate that yes, mind is vulnerable. Anyone's mind is vulnerable, and it comes with its attendant problems as well as powers. Like the way it is seen, the way its negative side is shown, that it has its tendencies, all this guna in various degrees, and that becomes a stumbling block for spiritual pursuit. For material pursuit, a lot of it may be useful as well, and for spiritual pursuit, some of those combinations may not be very helpful. So sattva has to be higher, followed by rajas, and followed by tamas. So in this order, if the gunas are maintained, calibrated, then it becomes useful for the pursuit, useful for the escape. Like the way we have this escape velocity, right? In terms of rocket, you can imagine, if we keep, for example, if there is some, they call it payload, right? There is a payload actually. If the rocket has to be launched, they will design it in such a way that aerodynamics wise, it should have the most optimum design. So design will include the physical shape and also weight. both ways. So if it is very heavy, unnecessarily the fuel has to be spent to carry that heavy weight. So one has to keep on improving on that weight reduction process. Whatever is unnecessary weight, seen as unnecessary, has to be removed from there for it to be able to even take off and optimally use the fuel, so that the fuel quantity also can be reduced, so it becomes more optimal for the pursuit, if you ask me. So similarly in spiritual pursuit, sadhana only helps us drop these weights, unnecessary weights actually. So we don't need to carry all these things along with us in the spiritual journey. Spiritual journey is that which is making us even lighter in terms of all the Shariratraya itself. Just imagine, as we understand Atma, the definition of Atma is Stula Sukshma Karana Sharira Vyatirikta Panchakosha Atita San Avasthatraya Sakshi Sachidananda Swarupaha Sanyastishtati Sa Atma. So when Atma is being explained as the core of oneself, as oneself, not only core, as oneself, everything other than this self is being explained objectively, saying, okay, the inquirer has these components. One is Stula Sharira, one is Sukshma Sharira, one is Karana Sharira. Okay, so these are Sharira. Okay, then next level is the software. That's where the mind comes in. So that's where the Karana Sharira, Stula Sharira, right? That for that Sharira, there is also a corresponding what you can say, body, you can say, yes, and Avastha. So for the first Avastha, it is Jagrata Avastha. Then the subsequent ones were very important. So the next one is Swapna Avastha, where mind is predominant. Mind still keeps creating its own world actually. For example, if we don't have a serial to watch, we create a serial at home. So that's the reason many times, if a person should not create a serial at home, then probably they keep him engaged by keeping him occupied in another serial, on watching another serial actually. So Jagrata Avastha, Swapna Avastha and Sushupti. So at a psychological level also, we are made to objectify the respective states. So we have Shariratraya and we have Avasthatraya. So Avasthatraya, Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti. So that objectification is also done at a subtle level to arrive at this person actually, who he is. So basically we are becoming lighter and lighter in terms of our own understanding of ourselves. So that's where we finally understand, if a person has to be everywhere, first of all he should not have any boundary. So that's what is very important. And our physical understanding from our daily experience, from our layman natural experience, is that we have a boundary, simple. And as long as we have boundaries, we can never be everywhere, right? We are bound. So that's where we start. So when we are bound, where can we be everywhere? So that's where, if we have to understand what is this pervasiveness, all pervasiveness, being everywhere means what? Or not at different times, at the same time. At the same time being everywhere would mean what? Would automatically mean that we are not contained in this body. We are not that what we take ourselves to be, this body mind sense complex, as a defined map kind of a thing. It is not us. That's not our real self. So that's the first thing we should get actually. So if it is Satchidananda Swarupaha, Sat, it is there everywhere. If that is the case, first understanding is that yes, I am not contained within this body, I am here as well. That understanding has to be there. I am here as well, I am here out as well. So outside as well as inside, as well as exactly at the threshold. So everything is that only. So that decompartmentalization has to happen. That Akhanda Vritti has to happen. That's where I think any kind of what you can say, guidance has to take us towards. So that's what has to happen. For all this subtle understanding, mind has to lighten itself. Swamiji says, no, first you have to get lightened so that you can get enlightened. And again it is said, mind has to be spoken about all the time, because mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha moksha yoho. So the way it creates bondage, it's also the reason for liberation as well. For example, if we have a thorn in the flesh. Okay, so it's not enough to just say that okay, there's a thorn in the flesh and then there's a problem. We just talk about the problem. So by removing the thorn only, the problem is going to be released as well, right? So the place where the thorn is, that place has to help actually for this therapy to happen. So similarly, problem is located in one's mind, that's for sure. As what? As ignorance of oneself. So that's the problem. And that problem has to be released by only giving that antidote to that mind only which has the problem. So that's where the vaccination definitely has to be given to mind. There is no doubt about it. So to that extent, discussing about mind and its nature becomes indispensable in this pursuit. And coming back to the specific point, mind is the same, and in terms of problems, it's the same for any adhikari. The moment we have this ignorance, and due to this ignorance, when we find bound it within a small stuff, that's where all the problem starts, and that's a universal problem, and that's the only reason that it also has got a universal solution. The problem is just universal. That's why there can be universal solution. So I would, even without reading that verse, I will only take it very, very simply this way. If someone is saying, okay, women can also have problems, yes, it's valid. Wherever ignorance is, automatically problem is. Because when ignorance is about oneself, automatically the fullness and thereby the advantage of being full, they are all lost. No, in any case, when I don't know that I am so and so, I will strive to become so and so. It will be very funny, right? If I try to become Bhaskar, it will be so funny actually. Someone will come and say, "Boss, you are already Bhaskar, no? No, I want to become CFO. You are already CFO, no? No, I want to become CFO of Rallies India." You will say, "Boss, you are actually the CFO of Rallies India only. If you want, I can show you this, market, whatever news. It was already published 1 year before." If I look at it, then I realize, oh God, I am that only. So, if I am already that and I don't remember, I don't realize, it's a very typical problem, right? Very funny kind of a problem. And this problem is exactly like that only. And can that problem happen? Yes, very much. Because it is already there here. And how do we say it is there here? Because of our own personal experience. Okay. But then how do we say that yes, there is also solution to it? That is where Shraddha comes in. We have found from our Shastra and also from most of our gurus, even parents, that they talk about liberation, they talk about there is something called moksha, and it is certainly useful, it helps. So from that only we really get Shraddha, and from that only we pursue. And again, when a person pursues, reaches there, gives the signs that he has reached there, others also get Shraddha. So this is how it is working. But how do we get to the pursuit? Is there a chance that we may not get to the pursuit? There is no chance. Definitely we'll get to the pursuit, because Maya will ensure that we will have enough problems finally to find the time to introspect. So I had mentioned this joke to everyone. There are so many people here. I told this to I think Sonia long back actually. So there was one line which was written in a car behind the car actually. So we were in a situation where it was a little difficult situation, you can say normally, just looking for house around or whatever it is. At that time, I and Ramya both happened to see that wordings actually. It connected with our situation so well. Anyway, being a Vedantina, I always enjoy all the situations actually. At that time also, I was just looking at it and enjoying, irrespective of whatever worldly pains you have. Okay, so that line went this way. It's a little unparliamentary, but I'll not use that word actually. So it was written that no one dies virgin because life F's everyone. This is what it was mentioned there actually. So, if that is the case, and if someone has to understand whether, if someone has a doubt whether he will be prompted towards moksha or not, very well he will be prompted, because that line is so nice actually to quote. Definitely samsara will ensure that this guy will find his way to moksha. So also on a lighter note, or even on from a actual perspective, Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji explains this so nicely. He says that when we want to achieve something, when we feel we want to achieve something, right? We achieve something, and then after that something else. So like this, we keep on graduating from one experience to another experience all the time. After finishing one thing, we want another thing. So he says, why this is happening? So the problem is, intrinsically we are that ultimate. So obviously we know what is that ultimate ananda, because we are that. That's the reason. Okay. Since ignorance is there about oneself, we try to get ananda from events or material things. So Vishaya Ananda we call it, related to anything outside of us. So the moment we think, because of our ignorance, self-ignorance, that we are happy because of something. For example, I got a nice coffee today, so I'm happy. Tomorrow milk doesn't arrive, I have a problem. Morning coffee to hona hi chahiye. So we get so synonymous with that coffee event, that if the coffee is not coming in, I will be unhappy. Really, milk will be thinking, boss, I am a real super boss, that I can, kind of screw up this guy's happiness if I don't arrive at him. Simple as this. So really, milk will be having its last laugh actually. So when we don't know our nature, we fix our ananda as an outcome of something which is worldly event. So that is what is Vishaya Ananda. So problem comes from this lack of understanding only, this wrong understanding only. Okay. If at all there is a tendency to get back to oneself, okay, there has to be a means also. That's where the means comes in the form of Shastra. That okay, there is a means. You have to just understand yourself. The job is done. So Swamiji differentiates these desires also into a natural desire and a cultivated desire. So for example, cultivated desires are like something like watching TV. So TV desire was created only after TV was discovered. So once you start watching, then you have the desire. Now baje we have to see the serial. That desire comes because TV is available. But natural desire is something which is quite common in everyone. That's what the moksha ichcha is. That I want to attain my fullness, my status of my fullness I want to attain. Basically that's what is happening. The moment something is contained, this example, I can give the example of air that is fixed into balloon. So the moment you inflate a balloon with air, what's happening? Air is forced into this balloon. Air that is otherwise which is free, it is forced into this balloon. That's the reason you need that pichkaria kind of a thing, or you have to blow it from your mouth, from your lungs, you have to give the energy to fill it up. But the nature of air inside will be to get out all the time. It doesn't want to stay in. That's the reason the moment a small prick comes in, it will just get out. So this is the trick given by Maya. Maya will keep giving the trick, actually saying, boss, get out. So get out is not in the sense of the jiva coming out. Getting out is in the sense of jiva understanding that it is not contained like a jiva. It is not a small thing. It is that parama even now. So that that imagined boundary, which was a wrong thing, has to be erased. Just imagine, no? Why an imagined boundary has to be erased? So funny, no? It's not even drawn. It is an imagined boundary. The imagined boundary has to be erased. Unfortunately, the pursuit is like that actually. So whether imagined or actual, it is a boundary. So it has to be erased. So That's where mind is very important, and our link to Vishaya Ananda is also based in our quest to get back our Swarupa Ananda. So if we rephrase it, actually we are looking for Swarupa Ananda, not understanding one Swarupa, that one is already that Swarupa, one is Ananda is one Swarupa itself. Not understanding that, we fix our happiness in small stakes. And that is relative to each person. And every time we allow ourselves to be matured by realizing that that stake was not good enough, that thing was not good enough, and it also had dukkha in it, or the sukha it gave was lasting only for as much time as it was possible. After that I graduated to next Vishaya Ananda. So always it is like graduating to the next level of Ananda, anticipating more Ananda. It never ends actually. It ends definitely at a point where you understand that you are that entire Ananda. Purnamada, Purnavidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva avasishyate. So that's the entire Vedanta. Purnamadaha, the one whom I am holding as the ultimate creator, ultimate cause, is Purnam, Purnamadaha. Purnam idam. This Jiva is also Purnam only. Purnat Purnamudachyate. From that total Purna, this Purna has come about. See, in fact, fullness is only fullness, right? How come fullness come from fullness? Right? So, that's where we have to introspect actually. Even when it comes, it is full only, it can never come as half. So, Purnat Purnamudachyate. Then now, Purnasya Purnamadaya. Having come out of Purna, now we can't say that that is Apurna. For example, if Vishnu is taken as, a bodily structure as world, and if hand has become Arjuna, then now Arjuna having become Jiva, he will think that okay, his right hand, supposing Krishna has two hands, supposing you visualize that way. So I am his right hand and I have become Jiva. Now, in my view, Krishna will be without his right hand. If that is what Jiva thinks, that's where this Shastra is saying that Purnasya Purnam Adaya, having come from Purna, what remains there is again Purna only, not Apurna like without one hand. So not like that. What is there is always Purna only. So that is how it is very nicely mentioned, because Purnatva is what? That which can never be reduced for any reason, by anyone for that matter, because there is no second thing in any case to reduce it also. So that's how it is presented. That's where that line, that entire verse, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, having come, what remains there is still Purna only. Purnameva avashishyate, not Apurna. So that is how it is. So the intrinsic tendency of mind is to find happiness and be happy. The only problem is because of our wrong identification and boundary creation, the way in which we identify Sukha, that is the real problem. The choices are the real problem. Because we think, okay, by getting up at this time we are happy, or by not getting up we are happy, or by someone else getting up early we are happy, or someone else not getting up at all we are happy. So we have staked our happiness into many things either happening or not happening, which definitely is not in your hand. Definitely. So that is how we get into power, and Maya entangles so well actually that it gives that experience over a period. No one remains virgin. And then gets into moksha pursuit. This is how it works actually. So yes, mind works that way, and this entire pursuit is of mind by mind. Is of mind and by mind only. That is how it is actually, because ignorance is located there, and that's what has to be given the therapy. And mind has to only understand that I am everything actually. I am not at all Apurna. I am that Purna. So once you are Purna, then you will not ask for something more, no? If you are If you are the source of all water, you will not ask for a droplet from somewhere else. No, you are already everything actually. People draw droplets only from you. Then why do you want those droplets? Because it was you only, and even now it is you only. So that should be the understanding, and that's where Shastra leads us to a level that one erases this imaginary boundary. Basically, erasing the imaginary boundary is the job in Vedanta pursuit. And since it's an imagined boundary, we are not capable of automatically understanding that imaginary boundary, because it's an imagined boundary. Okay, many a times, right, we have some problem, and to us it's a real problem. But when you go to a psychologist or the spouse, that person will say, this is an imagined problem actually. This is not a real problem at all. Why are you thinking this is a problem? No. This should be like this only, no? Many a times, spouse will get confused saying, oh, it's a real problem. It depends on the communication skill actually, no? Thankfully, Shastra has gathered enough people on its side to be able to communicate well. No? That's the reason it got Vyasacharya. I'm just wondering, you have people equally to communicate from this side to nullify those things. What will happen actually? Thankfully, Shastra has been really strong, and time to time Maya has its own way of creating acharyas. Shankaracharya suddenly he just popped up and he said his only mission was to give clarity. Nonsense guys are going after things like God, like pursuing world is the first problem. Now these guys have reduced God also to world level actually, saying it is Dvaita, you are there and you are there only, I am here only. They've reduced God also to a form and then packed him into a form, and then it can be fine for Upasana, but if they are thinking that is ultimate, that's a problem. Well, we have to wake these guys from deep slumber. So he thought very clearly, let me say everything directly actually. Though I may also show the right side of, or enjoyment side of the Dvaita Bhava or even Vishishadvaita Bhava. But he was very clear, was going squarely actually saying, boss, you are already that, what nonsense you are talking about. So Maya has its own way of creating people who would also, be the real antidote actually to this problem. Because it is, if you ask me why does it do so, there is no intention. When things come, you will have both. No, when you have filtered ignorant people, the other side is filtered intelligent people. No, automatically. So when there is a totality, when you have this side, you will have that side. So that side is Shastra. That's all. That is how it is. So this side has to see that side and remove all the ideas of sides. That's what has to happen. Simple. So that's why now imagine if this side is filtered ignorance or relative ignorance, the other side, if at all it has a chance to talk, what it will say? It will say that, boss, you please दिमाग मत लगाओ, ठीक है? अच्छा, दिमाग मत लगाओ, तो क्या करो? सुनो जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Means what? Surrender. So that's what Krishna is saying. So that side will say only this, no? और क्या बोलेंगे? It will not say, no, एकदम तेज चला रहा तुम दिमाग, जिसमें से बर्बादी एकदम पक्का है, और तेज चलाओ. He cannot say that, no. So the other side has to say that, यार एक बार दिमाग लगाना बंद करो, जिस हिसाब से मैं बोल रहा हूँ उस हिसाब से दिमाग लगाना चालू करो. That is what he will say. So for that only he has to tranquilize first. So tranquilization involves sadhana. So little bit kind of a tranquility you get. That's a temporary tranquility to finally get the ultimate tranquility, to understand that tranquility is oneself. So that's what Vedanta fetches in terms of knowledge. So I don't know what was the trigger, but I really ended up sharing so much of Advaita Vedanta. Thanks, Bhavya.
Sir, two things I want to tell you.
Yeah.
Actually, when I read this, initially, if I had to be initially before knowing all this, I would have got angry with Krishna. Okay, how can you write this? What I felt is, Krishna say in our field, if we don't agree with something, we appeal against the controllers. So you have to give me the amendment. And I thought like this, Krishna, I will appeal against this. I'm sorry, but you have to give me the answer why you have written like this, karke. I told Krishna, and then I just quit it. Okay. I mean, that is where I think I have improved on to think that Krishna should answer me back somehow. So that's how I was even thinking to ask you. Okay, that is one thing. So that is the level of improvement I have got it on me.
Good.
And second thing, what I can say, the like major thing regarding the difficult people we face. Initially, I used to get so worried. Okay, whenever we girls in a group, whenever we are talking, I used to understand that the other person is feeling much easier. The situations for the other person is much easier. Why my situations are so difficult? Karke I used to think initially. Now what I'm thinking, what I tell God that I know the student itself is so brilliant. You have to design a question paper tough only, of course. Otherwise, I will crack it more easily. No, I understood why you have done this to me. Karke I laugh it out and then leave it. Okay, that's okay. I know that my question paper is tough. Whenever I meet people, difficult people, okay, you are my question paper. Initially, I look at them and 2 minutes I'll think, okay, you're my difficult question paper. I understand. I'm getting more matured and more brilliant now. I'm brilliant. I know this now. So that is where I become.
Yeah, I think that's a good maturity. I understand. That's a great maturity to take it actually. That Ramya keeps telling me, she's a teacher, right? So she used to set question papers. So in that, I think they were having some concepts called HOTS, they call it, higher order thinking stuff. So when they ask questions, some of them cannot be verbatim from the book, and it has to be making a person think a little bit and then answer. So yes, you are getting more HOTS, higher order thinking questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bhaskarji, I just wanted to share something funny here.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie and there was a conversation happening between Yamraj and Chitragupta. So they have come on earth and they're having a conversation. So Chitragupta asks Yamraj, कि महाराज पाप और पुण्य में क्या अंतर है? मतलब तो यमराज उनकी तरफ देखते हैं और कहते हैं कि तो और जो लोग अच्छे होते हैं उनके साथ भी बुरा होता है, जो बुरे होते हैं उनके साथ भी अच्छा होता है, महाराज ऐसा क्यों होता है? तो यमराज उनको देखते हैं और बोलते हैं तो तुम्हारे कहने का मतलब है कि कोविड में जितने लोग मरे वो सारे पापी थे? तो चित्रगुप्त कहते हैं नहीं महाराज, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? तो बोलते हैं बट महाराज, तो यमराज चुप हो जाते हैं, तो बस यही आंसर है. तो वो बोलते हैं कि ऐसे कैसे महाराज, मैं जब भी सवाल पूछता हूँ आप उसे ऐसा घुमा देते हो, कॉम्प्लिकेट कर देते हो, तुम लोगों को समझ नहीं आता. तो यमराज सेज, वाह, सवाल पूछो कलाकंद, नहीं सवाल पूछो जलेबी और जवाब चाहिए कलाकंद. Because कलाकंद is important in your mouth when jalebi is all dry. So I just loved the answer. सवाल पूछो जलेबी, जवाब चाहिए कलाकंद. The question we all put up, we all across the board. Whether we are into Advait or not, whether we are into any pursuit or not, everybody asks similar questions. But the answer, Krishna had to give the entire Gita, 18 chapters.
Yeah.
And but we don't want. We want answer in one go. आप क्या कर रहे हो? अद्वैत क्या है? अद्वैत क्या? अच्छा, तो पाप क्या होता है? या जैसे डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन से क्यों है, या अच्छे लोगों को डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन क्यों मिलती है? And so I love this sentence. सवाल पूछो जलेबी, जवाब चाहिए कलाकंद.
Nice one.
We have to get into the pursuit.
Nice one. Good one. Thanks for sharing. Ashish, you have something to share?
Sir, like in my MBA class, there was one person who came and like he asked one question ki, what is the difference between Mahabharata and Ramayana? So what is the basic difference? And he asked each and every, so multiple people give multiple answers. In Ramayana, Ram was like a goddess person, and then you can say it's a complete man. Whereas in Krishna, he was shown as an ordinary man and with extraordinary powers, like who चोरी भी करते हैं, झूठ भी बोलते हैं, then he do ras with gopis, so everything. So multiple answers, but the answer what the person gave, no, like the professor gave, is really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer is like in 700 verse of Gita, na, there is a first verse in which Dhritarashtra asked the person, Sanjay. Dhritarashtra asked Sanjay, please tell me what is happening in Kurukshetra between my son and Pandava's son. So whenever you feel that your son is you love your son more than your brother's son, that is Mahabharata.
Achha.
And where you love your brother's son equal to your son, that is Ramayana. So that is not related to Vedanta, but that touched me a lot, because whenever you feel other person is also your person is also just like, you feel equal. So by that way I can connect, but that explanation touched me a lot.
Oh, yeah, I agree. That's a nice one. Yes.
Can I just add to that, Bhaskarji?
Yes.
For Ashishji, this is beautiful, Bhaskarji, because the first sentence which just now Ashishji shared, क्या हो रहा है मेरे बेटों और पांडु पुत्रों के बीच में? So mama, the moment the mama came, I, the moment it started with this I, and that thing what you were talking, that imaginary boundary of I, imaginary I, and they are Pandavas, and just now like Ashishji added, it's really beautiful that Mahabharata, probably he's saying Mahabharata when people are fighting, that all the bad things, they're killing each other and all, that I thing is coming. Whereas in Ramayana, if you see only from the, from the do's and don'ts kind of perspective, not exactly Advait's perspective, and even if you go to Advait's perspective, it is expansion of that imaginary boundary. I expanded, जो imaginary boundary I था वो हटा, उसमें पहले भाई आया, फिर फैमिली आया, फिर सोसाइटी आया, फिर कंट्री आया, फिर कंट्री के बाद पूरा पृथ्वी आ गया, पृथ्वी से भी हट गया, फिर ब्रह्मांड आ गया, वो एक्सपेंशन होता है, then they realize it is only one, it's only that absolute I. So Ramayana probably is the first step towards erasing that external imaginary boundary which we have created, my sons and Pandu's sons. So that first step, जो हम कहते हैं, जब इसमें शायद चित्त शुद्धि भी ऐसे ही हो रही है, जब मैं अपनी I की बाउंड्री को हटा के फर्स्ट स्टेप रामायण वाला ले लूँ, which is easy, like that probably Ramayana is Kalakan for that very question. It's easy to follow, Don't be selfish, आप सबको प्यार, हम कैसे, how, what do's and don'ts. So the first steps towards erasing that imaginary boundary is probably Rama and Tulsidas ji or Valmiki ji has given. So that Chitta Shuddhi, and then I keep expanding myself, and then I know it's only me.
Agree.
So
And it is I think here, I think the word moksha obviously means that it's an eternal experience, eternal bliss kind of thing. Is also very clear, because the totality which we are like is kind of lost by just having one imagined boundary, that imagined boundary. And when we erase the imagined boundary, it is totality. I mean, it is just from smallness to totality. Such a leap, giant leap actually. That's where that wow experience is, that because obviously from smallness to totality, you can't have it. It is not a gradual thing going up actually. Okay, I become first Brahma, then Vishnu, then Shiva, then Brahman. No, that is not the case actually. When you erase, it is total. That is how it is.
And Bhaskarji, like in the same thing, as you are saying, suppose, if you are sitting, when you see the wave, I loved it, and probably this is the one which for me is that, huge thing. When I look at the wave, I see the wave. But when I know that wave is what? It's water. So all the waves, they just drop in one go. It's not that every time I don't have to do it, it's a wave, it's water. Yes. It's just water. So the waveness ceases. It does not cease in the way think that physically wave will cease to exist. No, that is there. But I know it's just water only. So that what you are saying is absolutely that. It just drops.
Yes. Superb. It's 7:31 now. I'll chant Purnamada in case there's nothing specific that others have to share. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Hari Om Masterji, Hari Om all.
Hari Om.
Hare Hare.
Hare Om, sir.
Hari Om.